What's up, everyone? Kenneth here, streamhomeloan.com, 100 Years of Wealth. Hope you guys are doing well. Wanted to make a quick video for you guys. Right now, all the rage across all industries is what? AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Everyone's, on edge about it. How's it going to help? How's it going to hurt? How can I make money? How can I avoid getting scammed? Um, it's the thing of the time right now, right? So the mortgage industry is definitely not lagging on that. Immediately as we started to see things like ChatGPT pop up, we had big lenders that have been around for a while coming through and coming up with their own AI systems, right? So the first company that I that I work with that came up with their own AI system is a company by the name of SunWest Mortgage Company, right? So they are a lender that's been around for a while. They have a big portfolio. They've done a lot of business. They still do a lot of business. And we got linked up with them. I've worked with them in the past, but my particular company got linked up with them maybe like in the last 6 to 7 months. And we're starting to get some activity with them. But what I want to share with you is just their AI system. Give you a little tidbit into their AI system. Ask it a couple of questions. See how quickly it responds. See how accurate the information is. And from me just playing with it just a moment ago, it's very surprising. And it's great. It's going to be a great tool, I think, for loan officers. And if there is something like this is going to be available on the consumer side, then it'll probably be a great tool for clients as well. Because the main separation between someone achieving a goal or, you know, um, I guess achieving a goal is a good word, or taking advantage of something is really the information that keeps you apart, right? Like someone doesn't know that they can buy a house with a certain credit score. Someone isn't aware that they are able to, avoid putting any money down, things like that, right? So, in my first question, as you could see here, I jumped into Morgan, which is, hello, Morgan, this is their AI system. I asked, what is the minimum credit score? This was something I did the other day, and then, my computer was acting a little weird. But what is the minimum credit score for a conventional loan? Immediately, it popped up. Minimum FICO requirement for a conventional loan is 620. For loan case files with more than one borrower, DU's average median credit score will be used. Used by DU and qualification assessment for DU approval. When I say DU, most loan officers would know that means desktop underwriter. That's the desktop underwriting system that is used for conventional loan transactions as well as FHA loan transactions. But quickly gave me an answer. So let's try something different. Let's try another question. Let's see if they have this answer as well. Key. What is the minimum FICO score for a FHA loan? Let's just see how quickly this answer comes back. Question asked. Okay, that's really weird because the last one came back within like literally the moment I pressed the button, the answer came back. So maybe I needed to think a little bit more on this scenario. I'm not sure. Okay, where's my answer? Huh. Okay, there you go. Wait, something came up. It says Morgan is analyzing. Please wait. Okay. So I would think that since it had the FHA or the answer for conventional that quick, it would come back with FHA's answer that quick, but it took a moment or two. So minimum FICO for an FHA loan is 500. So I asked the question at 554. Within that same minute, I got the answer back. So it truly shows that it was like running processing information until it got to the answer of the question. That is the accurate answer of the question. FHA's minimum FICO score is 500. Some lenders, a lot of lenders put overlays on top of that. So you might have the true FHA guidelines say 500, but a lender may say, okay, we're gonna stop at 520, 560, 580, whatever. Okay, so let's see another question for this. Do conventional loans have prepayment penalties? Question. Okay, let's see. Let's see what it says. So it looks like, generally speaking, the response is going to come back to you in under a minute. I am processing your request. So I guess it's about a minute. They're still processing the request. Interesting. So from what I know about like ChatGPT and these AI systems, I think it's like a language, what do they call it? It's like a language something model, right? But it's basically let's see here. Let's type it in. Chat GPT is a language. I guess it says language model. I guess, yeah. So I guess that's a simple way to categorize it. But it's a language. It's a system where it's not really like the AI system is actually coming up with this information on its own. What it's doing is running through all the records that it has access to like sequence words. So in a previous time or on some previous record, the question has been asked before, do conventional loans have prepayment penalties? And right now it is compiling and running through all that information to get the most likely and accurate information. Seems like their system's moving kind of slow. Whenever I've used ChatGPT, it moves pretty quick with answers. So let's go over to ChatGPT and see how that, see how the how quick this works. I'm already have signed up here, I think. Okay, try ChatGPT, log in. Let's see. Should be able to get it this way. Oops, we ran into an issue. What? Let's see. Come on, don't you know my password? Aren't you all-knowing AI? Yes, not. What the hell is going on here? Ugh. Okay, so we're in here. All right, so let's ask ChatGPT a question, see how quickly it comes back with it. Let's ask a mortgage question. Do conventional loans have prepayment penalties? Same question. Let's see how quickly ChatGPT comes up. Look at this. ChatGPT almost immediately comes up with a full answer compared to Morgan, which took 2 whole minutes. I don't have 2 minutes to deal with this bullshit. No. Okay, so let's read their answer. There is no let's read both answers. There is no prepayment penalty on standard agency loans. When they say agency, they mean Fannie Mae. What the heck is that? Is that ChatGPT telling me something? Okay. Some of the non-QM loans may have prepayment penalties. You can refer to copy of a mortgage note or closing disclosure about the details of a prepayment penalty. Prepayment penalties are not applicable on primary residence or second home loans. If the borrower makes a lump sum payment soon after the loan closing or anytime after the loan's closing or anytime during the loan, charges will not be applicable for such payments, prepayments. No, prepayment penalties may be applicable on investor property loans. We need to review the specific loans to confirm the same for the investment property loans. So strong answer, and it's accurate. And I like the way that they don't just say no, there's no prepayment penalties. They give you the reasons why, they give you the caveats, the things to consider. That way, someone that's looking at this, a new loan officer, doesn't just ask one question and then use that answer as like a blanket statement. It tells you, hey, for these types of loans, there may be prepayment penalties. So that's a really good answer. Now let's go over to ChatGPT and see what it says. Conventional loans may or may not have prepayment penalties depending on the specific term of the loan agreement. That is true, may or may not, of course, depending on the specific terms of the loan agreement. But like Morgan's was more specific, and obviously it's because it's coming from a mortgage company, I would think, but it was more specific saying that there is no prepayment penalty on standard agency loans. So it's basically saying, hey, your question was about conventional loans. If you are, if this is a standard conventional loan or standard agency loan, there's no prepayment penalty. So in that sense, I'm going to say that first part of the answer, Morgan was better. Second is, or here it goes. In general, conventional loans refer to mortgages that are not insured or guaranteed by the government, such as through the Federal Housing Administration or Department of Veteran Affairs. These loans are typically issued by private lenders and can come with a variety of terms and conditions, including prepayment penalties. However, many conventional loans do not include prepayment penalties. It is important to carefully review the term of the loan. Loan agreement to determine whether there are any prepayment penalties for paying the loan off early. If there are prepayment penalties, they can affect the overall cost of the loan and should be factored into the borrower's decision. So eventually they gave you a thorough answer that included the fact that most conventional loans aren't going to have prepayment penalties. So overall, I respect both of these systems. I think that like AI, obviously there's that fear side of it where it's like, what's it going to do? Whose job is it going to take? Of course, that's going to happen. Hopefully it creates as many jobs as it takes, and hopefully it's not like a shock to the system where people are getting laid off in droves because overnight, or droves, whatever the word is, because overnight companies are adapting AI systems that just totally remove the employee out the way. Right. We hope that's not the case. I don't think that will be the case. I would think that it'll probably create more jobs as it grows and there's people that are implementing it and, managing systems and regulating things and all that. But eventually technology is going to remove out things that I guess, it's going to replace certain aspects of work life and hopefully there's a good balance, and hopefully through the timing that it takes for that to happen, us as a society can look and say, okay, let's make sure that we look out for the people that are currently working, breaking their backs in those positions, or currently creating a living in those types of fields that before AI were flourishing, or just a normal position in our economy. For instance, I know that was a little jumbled, but I mean, like, for instance, my wife is a research attorney, or not a research attorney. She is a coverage insurance attorney. So I'm sure there's going to be certain aspects of her job that deal with research that are going to be easily accomplished through AI, or to a certain degree, AI will pick up some of the heavy lifting. But hopefully there's still a need and a value in having like a skilled person double checking the work of AI, so that it's not this thing of like just completely removing the individual out of the process, right? So we'll see how it goes. But from my perspective, for the simplicity of, hey, is AI going to help the mortgage industry, or is AI going to help your local loan officer? I think in the sense of gaining more knowledge, yeah, it should definitely help you gain more knowledge. It should make it to where when you submit a loan transaction, before you submit it, you can probably ask, if you have like a unique scenario or a unique question, you should be able to ask the AI and get some sort of direction. So let's ask another question, and then we'll wrap this little video up. But let's say I have a scenario where the wife is a W-2 employee. She's been at her job for 2 years. The husband started a business 1 year ago, and he wants to be on the loan. Traditionally speaking, you want to be in self-employed for 2 years or in a certain line of work for 2 years. Let's see if AI can pick this up, or what they give us as far as some guidelines. So question: can or let's just say, how long does a borrower have to be self-employed for to be able to use their self-employment income? That might not be the right way to ask that question, but let's see what it says. Okay, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT, but I'm gonna income, and I'm gonna add the ending on a home mortgage loan application. Reason why I did that is because ChatGPT, whatever it is not a mortgage-based system. So I feel like adding those things might be required so I don't get like some larger, broader answer that doesn't deal with mortgage. Immediately, I'm getting answers back from ChatGPT, still waiting on answers back from Morgan. So maybe they have a guy in the back of Morgan who's then going to check with ChatGPT. I'm joking. But let's see here. So the length of time a borrower needs to be self-employed in order to use their self-employed income on a home mortgage application can vary depending on lender requirements. Generally, lenders want to see a track record of stable income and will look at the borrower's income over the last 2 years. Accurate. This means that if a borrower has been self-employed for less than 2 years, their income may not be considered for mortgage purposes. However, some lenders may be willing to consider self-employed income with less than 2 years if the borrower has a strong credit score, solid work history prior to self-employment, and other compensating factors that suggest they are a low-risk borrower. It's important to note that different lenders may have different requirements, so borrowers should shop around and compare offers from multiple lenders to find one that is willing to work with their specific situation. What a thorough answer, and it's absolutely correct. Let me ask you another question since you got all the answers. What do I need to do to be rich, famous, and buff? Joking, I'm not going to ask ChatGPT that question, okay? But that's a great answer right there. So let's go back to Morgan and see if we got an answer yet. Yep. Morgan's warranty is that it will give you a final warranted answer under an hour, and usually in minutes. If we give you your so it looks like when they start taking long for an answer, they want your cell phone so they can hit you with some information later. Now that's interesting though. Okay, their answer. Borrower must be self-employed for at least 2 years, validated through tax returns to be able to use their self-employment income. That is the most generic, basic answer, right? But ChatGPT actually gave what is a more accurate, thorough answer because there are programs where, with compensating factors, a lender will allow you to go off of 1 year tax return. Or if the borrower was, let's say that you were working as a landscaper, right? You're working as a landscaper for a company for 5 years, and then you decided to go and start your own business. It's a smart move. That's not a dumb thing to do. That's a natural progression for someone that wants to, wants more out of their career. So if you go from that line of work as a W-2 person and then you become self-employed in that same line of work, they are way more likely to give you that 2 years employment history and allow you to use your 1 year self-employed income. So ChatGPT once again gave the more thorough, correct answer, even though it's not a mortgage-based system. It just seems like it has a more robust information pool where they're getting their data from, or where their language model is coming from. It can't be the same thing as Morgan, because obviously if it was, we'd have very similar answers, but we're getting different answers. So overall, I think that this is something that any loan officer coming into the industry, there's a lot of people that are coming in and they don't work directly at big companies and go through 2-3 week trainings. There's a lot of people that come into the industry, they do the education requirements by the NMLS, and then they take their state test, they pass their state test, and they know enough to pass a test, but they really don't know much about guidelines. They don't really know what is allowed at what lenders. Why is it different at this lender compared to this lender? So I think this is going to help. But what you always are going to want to do, of course, is double check these things prior to submitting a loan transaction. Double check these things with an actual lender prior to telling them to a client. But as you go further and as you start having a good, base of knowledge on your own, you're going to kind of be double verifying these things. Like, oh, okay, I'm pretty sure that the minimum FICO score for FHA is this, but let me just check really quickly using this AI system. And I think, if I'm correct, I think with Morgan's AI system, they'll back up what the AI information gives you, right? Or with SunWest's system. So, like for instance, if I type in some question and I'm like, "Hey, can I do a loan for a client with a 600 FICO score?" And the answer from Morgan is yes, you can do this loan for that client with a 600 FICO score. And then later on, I submit the file and it gets kicked back because of the credit score at 600. Don't quote me don't quote me because I'm not 1,000%, but I think they told me that they honor the information that the AI system gives you. So they're putting like a lot of confidence into that. They're saying that, hey, we think that this information that it gives you will be accurate and will properly reflect what our guidelines are. So once again, I think it's going to be a great tool for learning, for gaining information, for finding out about different programs that are going on. And I think outside of that, we're yet to see. I think we're a long ways away from a client being able to work with AI to complete a loan application, or work with AI to get all their answers in a transaction. Right? There's going to be a lot of kinks that need to be worked out because we couldn't even get clients to like complete their own loan process. Like everyone thought that once applications went online, you don't need loan officers anymore. A client could just go online. Sorry, you probably hear my son right here. But they thought clients were going to be able to go online, start an application, and just complete the whole process. I am making a video right now. Go. I'm making a video. I'm really hungry. Okay, we're gonna make your dinner right now. Give me like 5 minutes. Hey, AI, could you tell me how to deal with this boy? No, but so I like I said, I think it's going to really give agents an access to information that wasn't always readily available. Like some lenders do allow us to communicate with underwriters. Some lenders are really good about giving you access to guidelines, and some lenders aren't. Some lenders don't have robust enough system to really support your knowledge game. They just want you to submit loans, and that's fine too, because some of them are really good at just taking your loan and getting it closed. But for agents that are new, that are looking to find out what's going on with certain guidelines, this is going to be great. In the future, it may make it to where certain aspects of a loan officer's job you don't have to do them anymore. I would think that AI is going to come in and make a lot of things easier. Maybe ordering an appraisal isn't a step that I have to do myself. Maybe ordering title and opening escrow are steps that can be easily passed off to an automated system or a system that has, some intelligence. So, overall, I think it's going to be a good thing for now. I'm focused, or I'm mainly, making this video just to touch base on what these AI learning or language learning systems are doing and the benefits. And right here, you can clearly see there is benefit. There is benefit. So I like it. Hey, like and subscribe. I appreciate you tapping back in. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you learned something. Peace.